I gave up everything for this. I mean, my wife is struggling. I'm not a victim. I'm not Jim Comey. It's fine. I did this and I'm proud I did it. But if you think we're there for tea and crumpets, well, I mean, Cash is there all day. We share it. Our offices are linked. He turns on the faucet. I hear it. He's there he gets in at like 6 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't leave till 7 at night. I'm in there at 7:30 in the morning. He uses the gym. I work out in my apartment. But I stare at these four walls all day in DC, by myself, divorced from my wife. Not divorced, but I mean separated, divorced. And it's hard. I mean, we love each other and it's hard to be apart.
But you're doing some great work.
Therapy is a thing. It's available. Like if you want to talk to a professional, I'm not even trying to mock him. He apparently was at that point this is from a couple months ago, he was having a really hard time. Like, you don't have to do it with the Fox and Friends crew live on TV. You can talk to an actual professional. But anyway, apparently it was really weighing on him after just like 3 months of having to do an actual job. He ran to the media to complain about it. Oh no, you have to look at the four walls. Oh, and by the way, he totally was making himself out to be a victim. The fact that he tried to project on to Comey or whatever. When did Comey go on the news to bitch about having to do an actual job? And by the way, Comey, as far as we know, at least showed up for work to get paid. Bongino just routinely doesn't even show up. And now we're in, I guess, the final phase of that, because I don't know if it's the four walls or the early hours or hearing everything that Kash Patel does in the bathroom, but something apparently broke Dan Bongino, and it looks like he's on his way out. He's apparently been sending office knickknacks and other possessions back to Florida, where he intends to end his lucrative career as a pro-Trump media broadcaster, or to resume it in time for the midterm elections. So he's done with the whole being an insider thing, actually having to deliver. It's more fun to just be able to conspiracy theorize and all that. This month, he apparently suggested to associates that he might go out on a high note by sharing his plans to step down at a news conference, announcing the capture of a suspect in the planting of pipe bombs near the party headquarters of Democrats and Republicans on January 6th. He even went out of his way to mend fences with Pam Bondi, whom he'd accused of bungling the investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, according to people briefed on the exchange. Now, they say that he hasn't made a final decision, and he's denied that his office is empty, even though people have said he hasn't showed up in weeks. Why would he be sending the knickknacks back home? Like, why would he be clearing it out and not showing up? No, it looks like he's gonna be gone. And by the way, his intended viewership, the people who used to listen to him, have no standards whatsoever. So I have no expectation that they're gonna be like, hey, you said you were gonna do stuff and then you went in and you accomplished literally nothing, and you defended the cover up of the Epstein thing. Like if they had like actual backbone, actual morals, that's what they would do. And that's what he deserves. But I think that he's probably gonna be fine. And he's gonna go right back into talking about the deep state and all that stuff after being in a position to do something and utterly failing. What do you think, Sharon?
First of all, you're right. Total victim. Second of all, the divorce will happen when he leaves, because she's having the time of her life in Florida without him. Okay, I can assure you that. Watching QVC and not having to put up with that ego. That is what's going on. He also lied to Fox and Friends. Okay, Kash Patel is not there 24/7. He was just on Katie Miller's podcast with his girlfriend. He's flying around the plane with his girlfriend and ordering Secret Service agents to protect her and her other friends. Hold my hair while I puke in the toilet. So listen, go back to your fans who, as you said, don't have any standards whatsoever, and we'll entertain, I guess, the next loser in the role.
Yeah, and by the way, like, this is what they want. They got their tax cuts. Now they don't want to actually have to show up to work. Dan Bongino gets paid way too much to be in a position he's not qualified for, but he can make 5 times as much, 10 times as much doing a stupid podcast. And just all the sheep that will be listening to him, he'll be making ad money off them. He'll be selling them NFTs and disaster seeds and all that. And then he doesn't really have to do anything. He's not responsible for anything. He can just wildly conspiracy theorize. He can try to stoke hatred and fear and inspire some violence and get paid for it. It is so much easier than a real job.